This presentation will explain the University of California transfer admissions application. Overview of what we'll be covering. We'll be talking about before you begin the application, how applications are reviewed, completing the application, the personal insight questions, and submitting the application. Before you begin, let's talk about the application timeline. On August 1st, it's when the UC application opens. November 1st to November 30th, you'll be able to submit your UC application online. In late January, you'll do an update for your fall term grades and course schedule. This is the transfer academic update. Failure to submit the transfer academic update form by January 31st may jeopardize your chances for an admissions offer, so make sure you complete that on time. March through April, you'll get notifications of your admission. On June 1st, you'll have to complete the statement of intent to register. You'll need to basically accept an offer of admissions. Mid-June to July, waitlist admissions notifications. Campuses will notify applicants who accepted a place on the waitlist of the final decisions on their application. Before you start, consider your major and campus options. Get your unofficial copy of your transcripts of every college and university you have attended. You can write your responses to the personal insight questions. You'll need to create a document outlining all your activities, awards, and work or volunteer experiences post-high school to help you complete the application. Application takes time, so make sure that you set time to complete it. Don't wait until the last minute to begin the application. Don't expect to complete the application in one sitting. You can save it and you can return to it at a later time to complete it. If you have questions as you complete the application, please know that counselors and transfer center staff are here to help you, so reach out to us and let us know if you need help. How applications are reviewed. So we'll talk about requirements versus selection. Every UC campus receives the same application from you. The reviews for admissions individually using content of the application. It also reviews for minimum requirements. UC transfer minimum requirements are basically comprised of the grade point average, your GPA, junior standing, and the 7-course pattern. So you'll need to have at least UC semester or 90 quarter UC transferable units, a 2.4 GPA, 2.8 for non-residents, 7-course pattern, which is 2 courses in English composition, 1 course in mathematics, and 4 courses from 2 different areas, which is either from arts and humanities, social behavioral sciences, and physical and biological sciences. Please note that just meeting the minimum admission requirements may not be enough to gain admissions to the student's first choice campus. There are a lot of competitive majors and programs, and you need to make sure that you check for the GPA and program requirements to make sure you meet that criteria. Comprehensive review. A lot of campuses consider more than just the GPA, but they do want a strong GPA. They do look at major preparation, your general education breadth requirements, any special talents or achievements, student context. With student context, they look at educational environment or available resources and opportunities, participation in academic honors courses or programs, any completion of any associate's degree for transfer offered by the California Community College. They do look at academic accomplishments within life experiences, geographic location where you basically have lived. They look the full application, not just the personal insight questions. So completing the UC application. Importance of accurate details, they do look at a statement of application integrity. They do look at your academic history, your AP, IB examination scores. They look at activities outside of school. They do have verification of application information, so it's critical that you do not misinterpret or falsify any information in the application. this is a very serious offense to the UC and it can result in serious consequences. So honesty is really just the best policy. So getting started, you'll need to go to apply.universityofcalifornia.edu and you'll need to start by creating an account. To create an account, you will need an email address and a password. Please note that if you already have a UC tab account, you can use the same account. You must basically use the same email of the application as the email you use for your UC tab. When starting the application, after you create an account, you'll need to select the term that you're applying for, whether it's fall, winter, or spring. You'll also need to select your transfer level. So if you're applying as a transfer student, you'll need to select that one, as well as units. They are looking for the type of level transfer you're applying for. If you have 60 through 89 semester units, by the time you enter the UC, then you'll be applying as a junior level transfer. If you're going to have less than 60, you'll be a sophomore level transfer. If you have more than 90 semester units, you'll be applying as a senior level transfer. Again, most students will probably fall into the junior level transfer. If you have any questions about your level, you feel free to contact a counselor to help you figure out which level list applies to you. Starting your application, you can just click on the Start Application link. You can also have your personal insight questions emailed to you so you can work on them ahead of time. As you navigate the application, they do have a navigation bar. It outlines basically the different sections in the application that you need to complete. You'll also get to see the application status. It shows all open or submitted applications. So after you submit the application, this is where you go to add additional campuses before November 30th. On your account, you'll be able to view or edit your email address and password. And then for the help option, it has frequently asked questions pertaining to this section. Wherever page you're at, it'll basically be able to address some frequently asked questions on that page. It also displays contact information for the UC Application Center, so if you need help, they can definitely help you as well. In navigating the application, you don't have to fill out the application sequentially, but they do recommend that you fill out the personal information first. It contains conditional logic in the application. Every time you finish any page, make sure you save and continue at the bottom of each page. In the About You, mostly it's just basic information. However, I want to point out in the citizenship and residency question, for our undocumented applicants, you have the option to choose no selection from the drop-down menu. They recommend this choice if undocumented or if you have a DACA status. In the Social Security question, if you don't have a Social Security or a Social Security for work purposes or an ITIN, you leave this item blank. To be considered for a fee waiver, you must report your family size and income. This allows the UC application to automatically grant an application fee waiver if you qualify. Application fee waiver calculation will appear on Choose Your Major page in the Campuses and Major selection. The fee waiver, if you qualify, it gives you a fee waiver for up to 4 campuses. So in the campus and majors, again, you'll need to confirm once again your term and level again. So you'll basically confirm, what term, whether it's fall, winter, or spring, and your transfer level. The UC wants to make sure the information is correct before you select your campuses and majors. The way you choose your campuses, you basically click on the little box of the UC you want to apply to. You'll notice that once you select it, they turn blue. And then you can save and continue once you're done choosing the campuses. To select a major for each campus you're applying to, you basically get to choose your major. You'll also be able to choose an alternate major if that campus offers an alternate major for you, and then you'll get to save and continue when you're done. You could also check the check closed majors box to see if any of the majors are closed. If you happen to see too many closed majors, check to see if you selected an incorrect applicant level or if the past application submission deadline. Just make sure that you're applying for the right fall term or winter or spring term. To search for campuses and majors, you can do it by either category, or you could also view the list if they're grouped by colleges. For campuses and majors, if you selected UC San Diego as one of the campuses you want to apply to, they will ask you to rank their colleges. They do have 7th, and you'll need to rank them in order of preference. Keep in mind that the 7th college is not taking transfer students at this time, so you should rank it 7th as your last option. Your academic history for transfer applicants. Before you begin, make sure that you are importing your coursework from your UC Tab account into the application if you have one. You must use the same UC Tab ID and email address from your UC Tab account for it to work. When it comes to your academic history in high school, you'll have to enter your high school, dates of attendance, whether you got a diploma, certificate, information will basically be inputted here. If you attended a high school outside the US, you will select the country and find your school. You can manually write your high school if you don't see your school listed. Transfer students don't need to enter grades from high school. When it comes to colleges, you have to enter all colleges and universities you've attended. It includes dates of attendance for each college, and you should enter consecutive dates even if enrollment was interrupted, so you'll be able to address any gaps in education at a later point. You'll need to specify if the term was semester or quarter, and then you'll need to put in if you have any diploma, certificate information. So if you got an associate's degree for transfer, an ADT, you can enter that information here along with your ADT major. Again, all courses and grades for each term need to be submitted. Even if you don't want credit for them, or even if you believe they're really old grades, they happened a long time ago and are not reflective of your current academic abilities, you still have to input them in your application. They do have grade codes for you to check to make sure you use the appropriate ones if it applies to you. You need to enter even courses that you believe are not transferable. So for example, Math C, Intermediate Algebra does not transfer, but you still have to put it in your application. If you received academic renewal for a course or an incomplete, you still have to include it in your application. Even if you withdrew from a class, you still have to put in the application. If you repeated a course later in the term, you still have to put in your courses. Essentially, you basically just are mirroring your transcript and you put in everything in the application as you see it on your transcript. Any missing information may be viewed as falsification and can result in cancellation of your application. The courses that you actually are inputting are coming from assist.org. So they are being pulled directly from the Assist database. If you cannot find a course, you can enter it manually at any time. For courses that you're currently taking that are in progress, you'll have to list them as in progress, IP. For courses that are planned, you'll basically list them as PL. You'll be asked to indicate for English and math courses, whether they're in progress, planned, not planned to take them, or you already completed them with the C or better. Test scores, if you took an AP, IB exam scores, can be used to show subject mastery, so you'll be able to input them in this at this level as well. For activities and awards, there's no limit per category, but you can list up to 20 total activities and awards. If you didn't have time or an opportunity to participate, you can explain how else you use your time. Maybe you were caring for a sibling or your children or elder care, or maybe you were full-time employment. That's the reason you didn't participate in a lot of activities. Focus primarily on activities that are post high school. Be as accurate as possible. Any information you put in can be subject to verification. So if you're unable to provide proof of the information, your application can be canceled. When it comes to categories in terms of awards and honors, you can list extracurricular activities, educational preparation programs. You can put any volunteer, community service you did, any work experience can be basically selected there. And when you're done, you save and continue. When it comes to scholarships and programs, you select any and all of scholarships that apply to you. If you're interested in applying for the Educational Opportunity Program, this is where you'll be able to select that you're interested in. Your personal insight questions. Each question will align to one or more of the 9 comprehensive review factors for campuses that are considered in their admissions decisions. Transfer has to have to answer one required question and then select 3 other ones. There is a maximum of 350 words for each response. All questions have equal value. There's no advantage or disadvantage to choosing a certain question over others. You just basically choose one that best applies to you or that you want to talk about some more. What are the questions? For transfer applicants, you do have a required question, and it basically is, please describe how you have prepared for your intended major, including your readiness to succeed in the upper division courses once you enroll at the university. So this question is required if you're a transfer applicant. You will also need to select 3 other questions from the following list. So your options are either choosing one, which is describe an example of your leadership experience in which you have positively influenced others, helped resolve disputes, or contributed to group efforts over time. Question number 2, every person has a creative side and it can be expressed in many ways, problem solving, original and innovative thinking, and artistically, to name a few. Describe how you express your creative side. Number 3, what would you say is your greatest talent or skill? How have you developed and demonstrated that talent over time? Number 4, describe how you have taken advantage of a significant educational opportunity or worked to overcome an educational barrier you have faced. And number 5, describe the most significant challenge you have faced and the steps you have taken to overcome this challenge. How has this challenge affected your academic achievement? Number 6, what have you done to make your school or community a better place? Number 7, beyond what has already been shared in your application, what do you believe makes you stand out as a strong candidate for admissions to the University of California? So what does the UC expect to learn from the answers? So this format gives the applicants a greater say in the kind of information they want to share. So you get to choose which 3 questions you want to talk about more about yourself and share about you to in the application. Students can express who they are and what matters to them, not only how they respond to the question, but also through the type of questions that you actually choose to respond to. It does give the option over which questions to answer, and it gives students greater flexibility and control. So again, you get to choose which questions you want to focus on. It allows students to select questions that are most relevant to them. So which ones you want to elaborate on, which ones you want to focus on, and share more information about you in the application. For the personal insight questions, you can choose to have the personal insight questions emailed to you by clicking email questions. That way you can practice your writing them in advance, and you can always copy and paste them in your application. Once you want to answer the questions, you basically click answer. And again, if you worked on them ahead of time on a different document, you can always copy and paste them here. For the additional comments on the personal insight questions, this section cannot be used to respond to an additional personal insight question. It is used to provide information you have not had the opportunity to include elsewhere in the application. You can talk about unusual personal or family circumstances, or clarify any other parts in the application. For example, let's say you are applying for academic renewal, and your GPA is going to actually increase once the petition gets approved. So this is where you have the opportunity to share anything else that you have not been able to do so in the application. But again, it's not another space for you to actually respond to another personal insight question. Submitting the application. You'll have the opportunity to review and submit. So if you, before you submit the application, students have the opportunity to review each section. A checkmark appears besides the section to indicate if the section is already complete. If you have anything missing, any missing information, you must be completed in order to submit the application. If there's a gap in education, you will also need to explain any gaps in education. Signature and statement of integrity. The UC feels very strongly again about student integrity on the application. So they will have you, they will require you to read and understand the statement of integrity before you sign it. And when you electronically sign it, it's verifying the accuracy and knowledge of the information you provided and that you are the author of the personal insight responses. When it comes to fees, payments, and waivers, each application is $70. For international students, it's $80 per application. If you qualify for a fee waiver, it will be automatically calculated from your answers about income and family size. If the fee waiver is granted, you actually need to select yes in order to accept it. Once you submit the application, you can expect to get something that says good job and that you've already submitted the application. Make sure you check your email for a submission confirmation. Post-submission, you'll be able to come back and add a campus before November 30th. So if you submitted 2-3 campuses, but you want to add another one, you can always come back and add another campus to submit it to. The transfer academic update will also be here. So you'll be able to update your courses that were in progress with your grades earned, and you'll be able to confirm or update any planned courses as well. This is always a deadline of January 31st, so make sure you do it on time so you'll be able to not jeopardize your status or admissions. For resources, there's a couple of resources here for you to use. You're also welcome to email the help desk. They're there to help you with any questions about the application that you may have. In addition, remember that the Counseling Center and Transfer Center staff can help you. So you'll feel free to make an appointment with the counselor through our counseling website. You could also, we're also doing UC admissions application assistance. We'll be helping students with their UC application. You can check the Counseling Center and Transfer website for information. Also, you can look at the events calendar at Mission College for more information.